What is going on, guys? Ninjok here. Today I'm going to be going over the top 5 things I hate about new gen games. Now for this list I'm going to be going over all the things I hate about the games from the Xbox One / PS4 / Nintendo Switch, Wii U era, mainly because there's just been so many disappointing games. So for this list I'll be going over the things I just hate about seeing with every new gen games these days. So without any further said, let's get into this. Coming into the number 5 spot, we have bad story modes. When I expect a story mode in games, I expect them to be, successful, fun, enjoyable, all that stuff. But the bad games these years have had the worst story ever, which are really bad ones, like from Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, the whole lot. I've been so disappointed with the bad stories these days that I just forget them in less than 10 seconds. That's how bad they are. Anyways, they're all so lame, terrible, and just so forgettable that I could probably remember myself getting kicked in the ass more than I can actually remember the story. Anyways, bad stories comes in at the number 5 spot. Coming into the number 4 spot, we have horrible loading times. Where to begin with horrible loading times, then without doubt the best example of how to not make loading times so long in Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex, thanks to Square Eye Jack.
Okay, it takes 9 seconds to load in Crash 3. And 26 seconds in Wrath of Cortex. Unfucking acceptable.
Where to begin with pathetic loading times like that? Like, holy crap. Games these days still do it. The only games I know these days, combined with other games I'm not going to list because it'll take a million years on this list, will be Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy and Sonic Mania. Hell, even Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Like, holy crap, there's just so much better loading times than that crap with games these days. Oh, but we have to render graphics in. Yeah, mate, well, there's a thing called get good with what you can do best. So, yes, if you're going to make a game, make sure it doesn't take 26 seconds or a million years to load. Oh, and if somebody says this is the next normal in gaming, how about you can tell those people to go shove it up their ass, because really, that is not normal and it will never be permanently. Anyways, horrible loading time so deserves number 4 on the spot. Coming into the number 3 spot, we see this too often, bad voice acting. Where to start? Holy crap, bad voice acting has always been a no-no on my list of games, but my god, why are they so common here? What happened to all the good ones? Couldn't they, do something like Halo 3 where Miranda Keys and Truth had different actors, but ones that were somewhere close? Even though I know that they weren't near it, but at least they were something. But however, I'm going to show you guys a bad example of voice acting, which of course comes from a game that came out this year, Sonic Team Racing. So prepare yourselves while I show the better version of Sylvan Show versus the crappy new one.
Don't bother. With the Chaos Emerald's power, I control time and space. You can't break free.
I won't give up! It all depends on me! Can't lose! Not when I'm so close! Chaos Control!
You seem quite determined, Vector. We'll go.
Do I have to shove you aside?
Somebody scrape me off this wall!
Someone, take this risk. You're about to get stomped by your superior.
Do you guys get it now? Why I say that the older one's better than the newer ones? Because holy, they sound nothing close to the older ones. Like, even a tiny bit of a voice off would be better than this crappy entirely new voice. Hell, I even added that Rouge the Bat one in because, wow, her acting got much worse. Even though I don't really care about that character, but wow, everything has just got much worse. Hell, they ruined Blaze the Cat. Like, come on. How the heck can you ruin all these characters when you could possibly, get someone that's remotely close or just a voice off. Like, come on. We don't want to see this crap. Thanks, Sega and Sonic Team, for completely ruining our childhood. Anyways, let's move over to the number 2 spot. Coming into the number 2 spot, we have unfinished games. Where do I start drawing the line? Assassin's Creed Unity is one of the many examples of the crappy generations of buggy release games. Wow, this game was buggy from day one, and the developers decided, it would be a good idea if we can launch this straight away so people will not notice a difference. Oh yeah, people noticed the difference. In fact, it got so bad with very bad reviews that the game itself was considered one of the worst. Until, of course, the developers decided, hey, let's apologize to people because, we effed up. Oh wait, congrats guys, you apologize, but you get the Academy Award for being the biggest dickheads of all time. Oh, if you thought that was the only company that does that, wow, Activision decided, hey, let's just launch all these Call of Duty titles that are so buggy to the point that they're so obviously broken. Then they fix them because they think people will not notice the difference. And then people will say, oh, this was better than what people said. Well, guess what? Those games are still terrible. The only one I could think of that avoids this is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. But even then, I wish that they launched it completely fixed. But anyways, without any further said, guys, let's move over to some dishonorable mentions. First up on the dishonorable mentions, we have bad DLC. When we think of DLC, we think that it's going to be worth our money if we absolutely enjoy the game. Like, good examples of DLC would be Call of Duty Black Ops 2. There are just so many great maps, and even zombies as well as multiplayer just had such an enjoyable experience. Halo Reach had one DLC, and I know people were pissed off about it, but I don't care. The maps are amazing. There's nothing wrong with them at all. And then, of course, last but not least, another good example of DLCs is Injustice 2. Who remembers getting Red Hood, or the Ninja Turtles, or Enchantress, or even Hellboy? Like, those characters were bloody awesome! Next on the list, we have No Story. You know what's not fun in the game that actually has a story? How about having no story? In games that don't make sense to have a story, it sucks. Of course, there are games that do it so well, like Super Smash Bros., but that's because that game is designed not to be a story campaign game. But anyways, no story sucks. Second last dishonorable mention, we have no core gameplay. Finally enough, the bad example is what you're looking at right here, Crash Wrath of Cortex, which, wow, that is well known for having too many vehicle sections in the game. Not just that, but they're also terrible ones too, but even if they were good, it still would get failure. But wow, it just shows that if you remove the main core mechanic of whatever game you're playing, then you really don't feel like you're playing a game at all. Yes, I know that there may be people that like type stuff, but for the main core audience, you really put disappointment on them. Last but not least, boring new weapons. By far, the most important thing if you want good weapon variety in games is that you've got the bad weapons, which, let's be honest here, we all hate. But however, boring new weapons, or boring weapons in general, yeah, they suck. Not just that, but it really does ruin the entire experience, especially if it looks ugly. But otherwise, it barely made it on the list because it was much worse. But jeez, boring new weapons absolutely sucks. Coming into number one spot, we have AAA Gaming tied with no split screen. Oh my god, Doom 4's coming out, guys. It's going to come out in one day. This is so going to be awesome. Get the game, no split screen campaign. Okay, maybe multiplayer would make sense to have it. No, it's not on multiplayer either. This is the reason why I give the game a 6 out of 10, because of that very reason, also because the online is required for multiplayer. But holy crap! You see how many games that could have been split screen? Destiny 1 was a good example. Destiny 2 is another example. Someone says, oh, but we need to change our armor and all that stuff. Well, guess what, mate? I've got games that could do it with 4-player split screen, so get wrecked. Oh, but online's the next thing, so no more split screen because we've got the internet. Well, guess what, those people? It's not the same. Not just that, but you can't do it without the internet, so oops, who got wrecked yet again? I know so many games that could have had a better option with split screen and make the fun way better. Overwatch. Oh my god, wouldn't it be fun to have 4-player split screen in matchmaking, just versing everyone and completely demolishing everyone as a team, or even competitive mode? Imagine how awesome that would have been. Or wait, maybe Sonic Generations, maybe both Classic Sonic and Modern Sonic could team up together to make one ginormous speed boost and just obliterate enemies within big radius. Like, imagine how many cool stuff that would have been if it wasn't just single player. Last example, Titanfall 2. Imagine how awesome it would have been if player 2 could control the Titan, or somebody controls, I forgot the main character's name, and they could just simply dominate the field. How awesome. But anyways, let's move over to AAA. If you don't know what AAA gaming or AAA in games is, it's pretty much the casino, just another way to make money off of you by simply just putting these stupid slot machine crappy stuff, or if it's not slot machine, then making you pay to win. So what pay to win is well, spending real money just to win. Yay, that sounds fun, right? No, it isn't. It's terrible, and it's even worse on game consoles and all that stuff. Do you remember unlocking things the real way? Do you remember 100% the game, completing the game on hard difficulty? Who remembers getting that solo legendary achievement on Halo Reach? Well, game developers decided, oh yeah, the past, let's make this new future of disaster. Well, that's pretty much what it is. It's terrible, and as gamers and everyone else, let's fight this out and make sure that this crap does not keep going. By far, this thing is so bad that I know plenty of people that could be spending like over $800+ on buying a new console. In fact, 3 new consoles worth of that money, when in reality they're just spending it on pile of dust. When I mean fight it out, I mean as in like not full on hitting, but like, you know, making a permanent ban on this crap to mobile games and even console games. Any day soon, if this crap finally gets removed, I'll be happy to see the day we can finally have true games again. Anyways, AAA in games and no split screen in games deserves the #1 spot anytime soon. Before I end this video, I'm going to let you guys know that after Sunday's video, I'm going to do my last Saturday and Sunday's video. And then after that, I'm going to take a big break from YouTube, so I'll come back on February the 15th in 2020. But otherwise, I'll say now I've had a great time doing videos this year, and I've had a better one than last year. But anyways, I gotta go and do Sunday's video, so anyways, I'm gonna start to wrap up the video right now.